Imagine you notice your product business is stalled or even going to decline. It looks like that you are losing customers, market share, or fail to build attractive new features for the product that really move the needle. Business is going slowly downhill, but you are still calm. It doesn't look bad, not yet. But you have realized you need to transform business and product development to avoid anything worse happening. But there's a huge risk your transformation, however big or small, goes off track if you are not prepared. Can you get your teams, your staff aligned to play the same game? There's a good chance to succeed, but it requires planning. Hi, I'm Hannu, product team coach. I help product organizations to transform, and in this video I will take you through 7 transformation practices that I find useful. These practices will help you to have better chances of succeeding, so make sure you watch till the end. Alright, let's begin. The first practice is to get clear on your business and product data analysis. Any transformation begins with understanding the situation of the business. Data is always inaccurate, so pay attention to data quality when drawing conclusions. Make sure you always have the latest product and business data available. To find additional data sources for validation, you may have to talk to relevant people to provide the access to the data. Learn as much as you can on customers using your product and how the customers behave. What do they say about the product? What they actually do with the product? And why do they no longer subscribe? They sign off and stop buying. So practice number 1, get clarity on business and product data. It will help you to make decisions. Transformation practice number 2 is to validate your assumptions. Even if you have good data available, you still need to make some assumptions in order to fill the holes in your thinking. Your assumptions may be related to customers, markets, trends, or generic political environment, for example. You may be able to influence to some external conditions, but things will happen without you being able to influence them at all. And the outside world is VUCA than ever before, meaning volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So there are lots of things that you need to consider. Try to validate your assumptions and write them down. You may need to have second opinions, and it's highly recommended that you do that. You can ask your customers directly, and why not use AI for deep research? But always there's ambiguity and uncertainty in each decision that you'll do. Validating your assumptions is critical, and you shouldn't leave out this practice. Transformation practice number 3 is to create transformation objectives. Before you create transformation objectives, it is good to ask some questions. Some fundamental questions could be like, why do we need this transformation? What is this change all about? What do we want to become as a team, as an organization, or as a company? And one of the most important questions when setting objectives is that, what is the good objective anyway? When you create new objectives for transformation, the good question is, what other objectives are being let go? You may already have a ton of objectives before the transformation kicks off. The leader must not decide on the objectives alone. We need wisdom of the crowd's discussions about the objectives if they are being realistic and achievable. Creating good objectives is really critical for the transformation success. This practice should be always included in your transformation journey. And transformation practice number 4 is creating transformation metrics wisely. Once you have your transformation objectives created and agreed, then you need some metrics to see where you are with your transformation journey. Use enough time to create good metrics. Be mindful and specific about what truly moves the needle and try to measure that. For instance, you can use product and business metrics like SMART goals and OKRs if you have already used them before. To get people involved in transformation truly, then you need to review some old objectives and maybe get rid of some of them. This way you create focus and alignment towards the transformation journey. Review your assumptions and take them into account when creating the metrics for your transformation. So practice number 4 is to create transformation metrics that serve the transformation in a way that you know where you are heading to. It makes this transformation so much easier to follow. Transformation practice number 5 is to create optional paths to transform. So what do I mean by that? Product vision and strategy describe the future state, but if they are done purely, then they are not helping in your transformation. So you might need to revisit your vision and strategy as well before your transformation kicks off. And often there are several paths and vehicles you can use in order to arrive at the destination. And don't rule out any of the suggestions that people might have to take alternative routes to the destination. Small changes may take you a long way ahead. Minor changes may bring some remarkable results already, remembering Pareto principle, like 20% of effort brings you 80% of the results. So once you have selected paths you will follow, then create focus and transform on that path. You can also create impact analysis about the path you are taking. Product teams always have a long list of things that they could work on. But what do we do less in order to transform as a team, as an organization? So creating optional paths to transform and selecting one of those paths to follow and pivot when necessary is a good way to approach your transformation. Transformation practice number 6 is to address skill, competence, and capabilities. Before kicking off your transformation, make sure that people are equipped with the skills, the competencies, and capability to transform. So this means that you might have to train people with new skills in order to make the transformation smoother and easier. If people don't have the skills and capabilities and competencies to carry out the transformation, you will certainly face some big difficulties. We need to allow room for training, learning, evaluation, and reflection. The question is, should you really hire or fire? It might be that the transformation journey is not for everyone. They may not be on board or are not willing to go through it. Another question is that if you want to accelerate your transformation, there may be some new skills, competencies that you might want to hire in order to make the transformation journey much smoother and quicker. And of course, you can always hire product coaches, agile coaches to accelerate your learning curve. So to enable learning and training, growing new skills, growing new competencies and capabilities is vital in order to make this transformation journey a success. Transformation practice number 7 is to address something that we call a change fatigue. So let's say that you run frequent change initiatives in your organization, and people may be involved in many of those change initiatives, and they may be already tired in order to take another transformation journey. So frequent drastic change initiatives may drain people out. They create stress on teams and people. On your transformation journey, you should focus on limited number of initiatives that are going on at the same time. So as a leader, you need to be present and address any concerns that people might have about the transformation taking place. Communication about the transformation is vital. So you should inform teams and people in your organization how the transformation is going, where we are today and what we are expecting to happen in the future. And if you see some good progress on your transformation journey, why not give a praise to people who are making their best effort to reach the goals of the transformation? Many of the problems that you encounter during the transformation may be systemic and related to the bigger organization. These systemic obstacles may be difficult to change very quickly, and they usually take a long time to change. So practice number 7 is to address the change fatigue teams and people may have during the transformation, being present and try to remove bottlenecks that hinder the change going forward. Okay, those were the 7 transformation practices. Now, these practices won't guarantee you succeed in your transformation. Without being mindful about this transformation is not going to help you in succeeding. Addressing those things that I talked earlier may vastly increase your probability to succeed in your transformation. Any transformation takes time, so you have to be patient and persistent because the change happens with people. I hope you found these 7 transformation practices useful, and if you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Also check my website hannutormanen.com. Many thanks for watching. Until next time, bye bye.